Money Mind, and thank you for staying with us. Next on the program, we're moving on with our Day in the Life segment. We're going to meet a man who set up his first company at the age of 19 and continued to set up a string of companies before settling on a slightly different route. Now, today, he's known as one of Singapore's most recognizable venture capitalists. He's also a man of many talents, missions, and passions. This is a day in the life of Ash Singh. It's a big day for the Slingers, Singapore's only professional basketball team. It's the first match of the season. The place fills up fast with eager fans. Among the most loyal is Ash Singh.
Whenever I'm in town, in the last 10 years, I've come to every home game.
Ash is more than just a fan of the Slingers, he's also one of the owners. He invested in the team soon after he moved from Canada to Singapore 11 years ago.
I think it's one way to give back. I think the idea of everyone getting together, coming for a game, family bonding is very good, so I decided to make that commitment when I decided to invest in the Slingers. Got one. High five.
The day after the game, I got the opportunity to meet Ash, to talk about entrepreneurship, investing, and of course, basketball. This is where it all happens.
I grew up watching basketball, always wanted to play basketball, but unfortunately from a family perspective, being a basketball player was not necessarily on the list of kind of pre-approved concepts that I could do with my parents. But I had the rare opportunity to invest and own the Singapore Slingers basketball team, and I've learned a lot about the value of team. Basketball is a team sport where, you might be the best player individually, but if your team and the cohesion and all the elements aren't there, you're not going to win.
Ash, your entrepreneurial journey began so early. So tell me how this whole process began.
I realized at a very young age that you could actually create a lot of value, you could create a lot of wealth just with the tools that were available in the digital space. So I was buying stuff, selling stuff on eBay when eBay was very popular. Instead of getting a job, I was, trading online, and found out that I could make a lot more money doing that than just getting a regular job like all my other friends were doing. So then it hit me. I'm like, okay, if I can come up with my own ideas and start to create my own value, maybe it could take me on a very different path than the typical, doctor or lawyer, which is usually the types of people that are, like my parents, Indian parents, Indian immigrant parents, they want you to be a doctor or a lawyer. And this was when I was young, about 14, 15 years old. And then that took me to university, which is where I actually built my first company.
Ash is here to meet Ria, one of the many startup founders Ash funds. Called Precision Bits, it uses technology to help brands and agencies make smarter marketing decisions about their customers.
In terms of planning now, because you've got this momentum now.
Ash really challenged me to think a little bit bigger and see what that technology can do in terms of, identifying a bigger problem that can be solved. So that's been a constant thing that we've been talking about in terms of seeing where we can take this.
When it comes to investing in startups, Ash, what do you look out for? What decisions do you, make before deciding to put money into a company?
Let me preface by saying that if you want to make a good return on your money, you're probably better off putting it into some bonds. You really have to want to get involved and be a part of that journey, because that's part of the reward. It's an intrinsic reward, a non-financial reward for being involved with companies. So instead of just giving money to the person, you want to make sure that you're regularly providing value to them. Keeping the momentum and taking it to the next level is even harder. I really try to get that aha moment where they have all these other challenges, but it's the root cause of it is usually related to something else. And to, be able to provide them with some insights and guidance in terms of how they can tackle it is something that I think is very valuable as an investor.
What does it take, Ash, to be a successful investor? Do you have to have this combination of talent, skills, the right eye, or a gut instinct?
A lot of these decisions are gut instincts, actually. I used to try to do things with my head, and I realized that it doesn't work as well, and you have to train your gut. Just like an athlete needs to train themselves when they're performing, as an investor, you have to start training your gut and saying, hey, you know what, this feels right. And that's what I've been developing. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. When you're delivering your content, having the right sound bite. So in terms of feedback,
for a guy who sees his role as not just an investor, but a mentor to startups, he wants to get even more involved in the mentoring part.
What are some of the learnings that you had from this? Right? The course that I teach is a course called Your First 100 Days. This course is a course that simulates what it's like to acquire a company. Because people don't know that you're 8 times more likely to succeed as an entrepreneur if you acquire a company. So we simulate the first 100 days post-acquisition of a company. It's strange, like it's always the guy who'll hold the hand and just keep it there, right? Over the last 10 years, with a great team that I have of professors, this course is now the most popular course at the INSEAD school. And it's also a capstone for all EMBA students. So all EMBA students take this course before they graduate. So that's what I've been doing at INSEAD for the last 10, 11 years now.
Ash straddles the roles of entrepreneur, investor, and teacher. While that may seem like a lot to handle for one person, there is a common thread that runs through all of Ash's varying responsibilities. And that's the passion to nurture generations that will put their talents and skills to good use.
You have a face for thinking. I've always believed that the most fulfilling things you can do is thinking beyond yourself. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that I work with that are not just building products that are going to solve today's problems, but social problems for tomorrow. So I think that's a very empowering thing, and that was my drive to get involved in mentoring and becoming an investor.